The records are now open. Welcome, everybody, to the 10-7 episode of Akashic Answers with Emily. I am so happy you are here. Please say hello once you get here. Sarah, I see you here in the house. Sarah and I had some awesome sacred time together this week. Who else is out here? We are going to jam together for the next half hour or so in the Akashic Records. If you are new to the Akashic Records, this is the realm of consciousness that holds all intelligence, past, present, all possible futures, and is recorded from a neutral perspective. I'm the founder director here inside the Akashic Academy, which is a modern day mystery school featuring training for you in your Akashic Records. Why do you want to train in your Akashic Records? Well, I'll tell you why I decided to train in mine, because for a very long time, I was an artist. I don't know if you guys know this about me. I was an actress, a Hollywood actress, and a mom of 3. And my artistic soul was very challenged in this modern day concept of life, especially trying to integrate all the pieces of my dreams, my goals, being a mother, dealing with my own trauma. And I was very into metaphysics, self-healing, all of the things. I spent about 20 years studying as much as I could possibly get my hands on when the Akashic Records came into my field. And I recognized, oh my goodness, this is a database of intelligence that when we learn to tap in, we can get instantaneous wisdom, guidance, clarity about anything that we're experiencing in our own life. Okay, that's how we use it on a very personal level, is that we heal ourselves from the trauma and the limitations that are holding us back in life, that are keeping us playing small, that are keeping us from living the divine blueprint of peace, power, and plenty here on the planet. Okay, we can use the Akashic Records on our personal journey in this way. But if you haven't heard, there's this substance called the ether. Ether is Akash. Okay, ether is a Sanskrit word for Akash. I'm sorry, other way around. Akash is a Sanskrit word for ether. Ether is a primordial substance, a consciousness of energy that exists all around us, that holds intelligence. It holds the intelligence of the universe. This is the realm that Nikola Tesla, Steve Jobs, Albert Einstein all learned to tap into and to extract information. This is where these brilliant ideas came in for them. And when you start tapping into your Akashic Records, not only can you get free from the things that are holding you back right now, and I know it's really easy to look at the outside world and say, oh, it's circumstances that are holding me back. I've got XYZ challenges in my life, but I promise you it's you. Your circumstances are just opportunities for you to get more resourceful. The Akashic Records helps you learn to play the game at a higher level so that you can succeed, you can collapse timelines. Anybody have financial timelines that they want to collapse? So I got to get my hand all the way in the screen here for those joining us on Instagram. Who's got relationship timelines? You feel like you are stuck in relationship cycles that are not serving you. You want to collapse those timelines and step into the timelines where your relationships are serving you. Yes, yes, yes. All right, we're gonna get going and get down with this today. This is what the Akashic Records can help us do. All right, so another thing that you need to know, because it's valuable for how we are about to play today, is that the Akashic Records work by invitation only. This doesn't mean that only certain ones of us are called to the Akashic Records, although you may find when you hit a certain point of development in your life, the Akashic Records will appear for you. If you're here now in this space, the Akashic Records have appeared for you. They appear when you're ready to use them as this self-empowerment resource. Okay, but that's not exactly what it means when I say the records work by invitation only. It means it works like your magic 8-ball. Anybody remember the magic 8-ball? Send some love, likes, hearts across the screen if you remember a magic 8-ball. What's the deal with the 8-ball? You got to ask it questions, right? Now, the 8-ball is pre-programmed with answers. I don't know. I can't remember what piece of sacred geometry is in there. I feel like it's a pyramid, that as you roll it around, the different sides of the pyramid, like a die, will come up, and then you can read one on the bottom. The Akashic Records, this is where the Akashic Records is different from the Magic 8 Ball. The Akashic Records isn't limited to answers or information that you can get. Okay, if you can ask the question, you can get the answer. And that's what we're going to play with here today. So I want to invite you to light up my chat box with questions, places in your life where you feel challenged, and I will tap into the Akashic Records, channel through guidance that, by the way, is here for all of us. Even if it's your question, it's not just your guidance and intelligence, y'all, because there's an activation, there's a transmission that comes through in each one of the answers. And that's here for us to collectively receive together and to grow. All right, so I'm going to sip out of my Saskatchewan. Did I say that right? Saskatchewan. Sorry, there's a harder T in there mug from my amazing friend and client, Lisa, up in Canada. Although I'm coming to you from the high Sierras in Reno, Nevada today. All right, my good friend Peter Roras in the house. Peter's feeling financially and emotionally challenged. Anybody else feeling financially and emotionally challenged? Right now, I'm going to tap in and bring through some insight from the guides, and we will also do an activation to help us move through financial and emotional challenges. All right, so tapping in. First thing that's coming forward is the guides are bringing into my awareness the eclipse energy, the cosmic gateways that we have right now to collapse old timelines. And the simplest way to do this is to reconstruct our thought processes about whatever it is that we're experiencing. Okay? Thoughts create things. Thoughts are the fundamental energy. Wait, I don't want to say that, because sound is another fundamental energy that we need to create. Your thoughts are the essence of creation, though. Okay, and then once you put sound behind your thoughts, you are further increasing the vibrational resonance of your creations, of your spells, of your manifestations. Okay, so if you're experiencing financial challenge, very simply, you got to start thinking about money differently. All right, where the guides are taking me instantly is most of us think stressful thoughts around money. We think lack around money. We got to reprogram that today. So if you guys want to get in there and reprogram that with me and the guides and Peter today, type yes in the comments. Okay, we're going to work on reprogramming the mind around money. All right, so the first thing is the guides want you to look up underneath closed eyes. So closing your eyes, looking up gently. What this does is it's going to cause your eyes to jump just a little bit. This is activating theta brainwaves. Okay, and the guides are inviting you to answer if you would like to know what it looks and feels like to experience new thoughts and new perspectives around finances and your relationship to finances. You can say yes now. Good. Okay, open your eyes. We don't want to stay in that blinky space too long. All right. Good job. All right, so let me see what else the guides have to say about looking at our finances differently. Okay, mantras that are coming in to help. I love money and money loves me. I love money and money loves me. I love money and money loves me. I have the divine ability to source and resource all that I need and desire. I have the divine ability to source and resource all that I need and desire. Okay, this is another one coming in that might feel a bit challenging for some of you, but we're going to trust the guidance. Money is a resource that allows me to play. Money is a resource that allows me to play. We need to bring some playful energy in here. See, most of us are working for our money, and we feel like we are giving away our time, our energy, our creativity, our life force energy for money. We want to shift and let money be a source of play for us. All right, and the guides are inviting us to take action on this in some small way, shape, or form, and that is to invest your amount in your own play, in playfulness. And if you don't, and honestly, the biggest thing that you can invest in your play isn't actually your money; it's your time. So invest time for play. Okay. As you invest more time for play, after we've made this new neural pathway connection, what you'll likely begin to notice as we learn to hold new frequencies is that more abundance comes into your life with a playful spirit, with a playful consciousness, inviting you to play more. It feels playful how the money came in, it feels fun how we get to show up and make money. For those of you out there who don't love your job, I feel for you. I love my job. Making up your own job is amazing. And I know entrepreneurship it's not the right move for everyone. It is a fundamental paradigm that is making a comeback, I'll say right now, as the new earth codes are being established here on the planet, as we are reinventing ourselves in society. Because what entrepreneurship does is it allows us to serve the planet and to receive, to source and resource for our livelihood and well-being through our own genius and our passions to serve humanity. And this is another reason why, if some of you are feeling constriction around your finances, in 2012, there was a shift on the planet where money no longer followed hard work. It made a shift, and the energy of money follows the energy of consciousness and the expansion of consciousness. So that's why we've got to follow play, fun. Okay. Ooh, my whole head is buzzing. All right, let's get into some emotional challenge now. Clear out some emotional challenge. By the way, send some love likes, hearts across the screen. If you are receiving this reprogramming, if you are participating in this reprogramming, let's make money playful and fun. Let's just take a moment to tap in and imagine that, though. Imagine a world where we all had and were good. We had mastered the ability to source and resource all that we need and desire through our own genius. And then we get to go out and play together. And we get to play more in our businesses and our work life. Feel into it, play. So much of us resist play. We get so programmed to resist play. Literally, true story, y'all. One of the reasons that I had child number 2 after I had my first son, Jack, I have always been, and I shared with you too, I've had some challenges really like giving myself to the motherhood process because my masculine drive to create an identity in the planet, to be somebody, right? To be inspired, to create art, to inspire other people, to do this. It's always been so strong in me that it was challenging for me to calm down and bring myself down into this quiet, nurturing space. And I remember after 2 years of playing trains and just constantly playing all day, I felt like, oh my gosh, I have to have another kid just because I can't play like this all day. I got shit to do. And it wasn't until many, many years later that I was able to see, oh, I have lost my ability and comfortability in that area of play and playfulness. But this is a key because this will tap you into your joy. It will tap you into laughter. It will tap you into childlike curiosity. Remember when Jesus said, the children shall lead them. This is also, a lot of different extrapolations for that. But the metaphor is let your inner child lead you. Okay. Key code, key code, key code. Fun, play, inner child. All right. All right, tapping back into the emotional. Anybody feeling emotionally challenged right now? We are going to release some of the dense emotions here. I want one hand on the heart, and the guides are saying one hand on the womb area, lower belly. So we've got heart energy. This is where we store unforgiveness, heart walls get created here. And then the womb area is where we store emotion and unprocessed emotion. All right, so let's just work on clearing these energy channels. Imagine white light moving from your hands into both of these energy centers, clearing them, balancing them, harmonizing them. Nice deep breath. Your intention is enough to get her done, guys. We're creating energy medicine here. It's just intention. Good. Okay, imagine pulling that energy out now and releasing it down to Mother Earth, letting her transmute it. All right, so one of the reasons that we get really emotionally clogged is because we don't like to face and feel our emotions. So if you are feeling emotionally challenged right now, your homework is to face and feel everything that's coming up. And in order to do that, you might have to get curious. Okay? And sometimes it's hard to get curious if the emotions that are coming up for you are mad or sad or angry or triggered or frustrated, because those neural pathways and our responses, our nervous system responses are so ingrained that usually we're 10 steps down the road of thinking whatever that thought or being with whatever that trigger is that came in before we can pattern interrupt. All right, so the guys want to bring in faster pattern interrupting for us all today. For those of you who want to work on facing and feeling more dynamically. All right, so when these emotions come up, you gotta face them and feel them, but it requires the curiosity. So rather than just being mad and okay, drop in. Why is this triggering me right now? Oh, because I got my because I got my feelings hurt. Here's an example. I moved recently and I'm in a new neighborhood that has a clubhouse and amenities. And so I go up to the clubhouse with my kids and to use the amenities, and we're not in the system yet. And the lady says to me as she's looking in the system, "You don't exist." I got pissed. I got triggered. I'm like, well, I most certainly do exist. I'm standing right here in front of you. And she was kind enough to go ahead and let us in, even though she didn't have the paperwork that we existed yet, right? And as I was in the sauna and I'm reflecting, I realized, damn, my feelings got hurt because I felt like I didn't belong here, right? And as soon as it came up, it welled up in my throat. And I okay, I let it cry out. I shook it off and got back to my sauna breathing, okay? So that's what it can look like for you. Say yes if you want to receive that ability to pattern interrupt at a higher level and really see and get curious with yourself. It's where a lot of the deep healing work is done. All right, so we're going to tap in and grab some more questions here. Katur says, I would love to know whether or not I'm in the right relationship or if I should currently move on. Well, whatever relationship we are in right now, the guides are saying they're inviting us to look at it as the right relationship, because if you were in it, there's information, there's intelligence from that relationship that's going to be important. All right. So a great question. We want to tweak the questions just a little bit. Okay. So Couture, if you're up for giving me permission to tweak this question just a little bit, what I would love to ask is, what are the lessons that are available for me to learn in this relationship right now? Okay. And then once we get clarity on those relationships that are available, then you simply ask yourself, okay, is this what I want to be working on right now in this way? Because you are the creator of your life. And if you want to choose to work on your relationships in a different way, I mean, because we can work on them through the shadow aspects of ourselves and how our shadow bumps up against each other, right? That's a very challenging way to grow. And we can also get clear on, no, I want to work through my stuff like this. This is how I want to grow. This is how I want to be supported. What the guides are saying is the vast majority, not everybody, I do see some very high level beings on here today. So not everybody, sorry to rank us, guys. But the vast majority of us, and this is true for those that I was referring to that might be in really conscious high level relationships. All right. I'm not currently in a romantic relationship. If and when I choose to be in one, it is going to be of the utmost conscious creation, no stumbling into things like, let's see how it goes. Okay. The vast majority of us are in relationships right now through path B. Let's see how it goes. These relationships are great. Any relationship that we're moving through, in my opinion, on some level is a soulmate relationship because we have something to learn. But did I consciously, in my mastery, choose that this is what I wanted to experience? And that doesn't mean that it's going to be all butterflies and rainbows and unicorn writing, of course. But when we come at our relationships with more conscious creation, we actually will have already answered questions like this. How do I know when the relationship is complete and I want to move on? These, like the divine design, what the guides are saying right now, is for us to ask ourselves and contemplate that when we're starting the relationship rather than when we're ending it. So just imagine that. And it doesn't mean that you can't get to the end of what you see a lesson or a path of learning is. Right? How do I know when I'm at the end of this relationship? Well, it's going to feel different in my body. I'm going to feel more complete with these lessons that I'm learning in my life. All right. So let's say you actually get to that point and you decide you still want to be with this person. Then you get to renegotiate the soul contracts. Make sense? And is this inspiring? Is this an inspiring thought to think about how we can create more consciously if we ask ourselves the right questions at the right places along the way? All right, so Couture, I'm just scanning through here to see if you gave me permission to shift that question a bit. I don't see it in here, so I'm going to leave your private information private for today, and I will trust that what we all needed to receive from that question was the recognition of how we can create more consciously, and we'll pop in and grab another question. All right, I'm going to grab one here from Instagram. Troy Williams, I see you. Hey, Emily, can you please help me see what I am not seeing right now that I need to see? One of my favorite questions. Yes, where'd my dinger go? All right, so for everybody who wants to have a third eye activation so that you can see what is currently unseen, you can say yes right now and you can receive the frequencies that are moving into the third eye to open them up and allowing you to see from different perspectives. Okay. All right, M9. I'm going to tap in right now and see what the guides are wanting to bring forward specifically for you about what you're not seeing. There's shadow energy of self. So that's what you could really focus on right now, is ask the guides to bring your subconscious patterns that are currently manifesting in a shadow octave. So when our shit or our subconscious patterns manifest in a shadow octave, what it means is that there are aspects of behavioral impulses that are moving through our body. It goes from mind to emotion to nervous system to causing behavior, and it happens so fast we don't even realize it. But it's playing out in a lower octave or in a shadow octave that is diminishing your power, causing you to feel crappy, poor self-confidence, playing small. Okay, let's go ahead and shift that. We're going to do self-confidence activation here. Anybody who wants to receive an activation in through your solar plexus for personal power, for courage, for confidence, type yes. And take all of your awareness, all your consciousness into the solar plexus, feeling that energy. Feel it expand and radiate through your body. It's okay if you feel like, am I really feeling it, or am I making that up that I'm feeling it? Your body will become more sensitive. The more you do this work, the more you come into this conversation every Wednesday, the more you meditate. I want to give you guys a free gift too. I want to give you a free training that's going to help you work with your intuition. This work is cumulative. That means every time you do it, you are expanding your bandwidth and your ability to hold more frequency. Okay, cool. All right, M9 says, yes, I do have a lot of behavioral impulses. Yes. So if you notice that behavioral impulses, take two. If you notice that behavioral impulses are hijacking your freedom, then grounding is what the guides are suggesting right now, earthing. And it's full on, like, get outside, sit on the ground, have your body touch the ground, feet barefoot touching the ground. Spend a lot of time connecting with Mother Earth, because that will naturally restore and heal your nervous system. Seriously, the more skin to skin contact you can have. But the bottom of your feet are actually the best, because on the bottom of your feet per square inch, you have more receptors that pick up that electromagnetic energy from Mother Earth, which grounds and restores your battery. We're these bioelectric beings, and Mother Earth is our battery, our giant battery, right? So that's how you restore and clear and shift your energy. All right, Couture, cool. You've given me a yes to go back to your question. I'm going to scroll back just a bit here. All right, so we are talking about whether or not we are, Couture is currently in the right relationship. And if you're just joining us, we talked a little bit earlier about how we can rephrase this question to get maximum insight, the most important wisdom and guidance. And I asked Couture for permission to shift the question to say, what lessons are currently available for me to learn in this relationship? So that's what I'm going to ask now. Couture, I'm tapping in for you. Okay. The guides are saying lessons of the heart and lessons of well-being. In terms of lessons of the heart, definitely forgiveness coming up. Forgiveness. I feel like there's a lot of self-forgiveness too for you to work on. And it also feels like forgiveness for areas where you have betrayed your intuition or betrayed your heart in favor of the logical mind. Okay. There's some more in there. What was the second one? It's blanking. It's escaping me now. Let's see. The heart was some unforgiveness. Wow, the other one's escaping me right now. So that one, wow, could have cleared it. Or maybe that one is just fully complete. Oh, okay, that's what the guides are saying. Couture, whatever the second one is that has absolutely escaped me now, there is no recollection in my mind. What the guides are saying is that's the pattern that's complete. And then the idea of the heart, the forgiveness energy. This is energy that you could choose to work through in a different relationship. If you are not feeling joy and expansion and support working through it in your relationship right now. Okay, cool. All right, how much more time do we have? It is 12:28. All right, so I want to make sure that I share some free gifts with you all. I have first here for you, let's see, I want to share with you our intuitive development training. If you are joining me on Instagram, by the way, you will need to find the link in Linktree. That's what it's called, Linktree in my bio. Okay, find the link in Linktree. If you're joining us here on StreamYard, you're going to see me pop that into the comments right now. This is an intuitive development training course that will teach you how to develop your intuition, aka your psychic senses. And why does it say air? Okay, saying air. Give me a second. But your psychic senses are the way that you communicate in your Akashic Records. This is the way that you communicate when you're communicating with guides. Okay, this is actually what it is it's a scientific breakdown of how your imagination works. When I say scientific, by the way, let me take Couture's comment down here. When I say scientific, by the way, yeah, it is scientific, but it's also not rocket science. I mean, I'm going to explain it to you in this video, like a kindergartner is going to be able to understand it, and you're going to be able to use these exercises with ease on a daily basis that will make your intuition very sharp, make it very clear for you when you're getting messages. It's going to help you make really powerful decisions, and it's also going to stretch and open your imagination so you can think more innovative thoughts. All right. So I want to make sure that you guys have access to this training. I'm going to try one more time. Okay, great. That time it went through on StreamYard. Make sure that you get your access to that. I also want to talk to those of you who are ready to dive in to learn to read the records. If you are wanting to know more information about the Learn to Read the Akashic Records program, I have a link for those of you. All right, let me grab it here. Now, this is going to work for the next 5 of you who would like to have a conversation with me about learning to read the records. And this is only on StreamYard. So if you are on Instagram right now and you're like, dang, I want that call, simply send me a DM. Okay, and I will save spots for the first 3 of you on Instagram as well. Okay, so this link will work for the first 3 of you. You can hop on a one-on-one discovery call with me personally, and we will talk about what's at stake for you, okay, in the Akashic Records training. All right, it is 12:31, and I'm having fun with y'all. I'm going to dive in and tap into one more question. I really thank you all for being here. Let's see what else we got. Let's see. Geoia. All right, G would love to know where I should focus over the next weeks and months. Wow, this is a fantastic question. My clairsentience is lighting up. Yeah, the guides, thank you. I'm glad we stuck around. The guides definitely wanted to come through and address this because it's much fun and optimism and empowerment that we talked here today. We didn't talk a lot about what is happening in the outside world. There's a lot of catastrophe, pain, challenge, suffering, fear, uncertainty. All right, send some love, likes, hearts across the screen if you feel like your nervous system, your energy field's been affected by everything that's happening out there, especially if you're an empath. You're going to be feeling it. I was working with one of my clients the other day who, probably like a lot of you, is very connected to the Mother Earth energy. She just embodies and radiates that divine mother energy. Not me so much. I already told you those stories about me, my mothering energy. But I was working with a client who really embodies this Mother Earth energy. And with all the shifts and changes that Mother Earth is going through, man, her energy field felt disheveled. So if that's you, I feel you. The grounding is good. Okay, here's what the guides want to talk about specifically in terms of where we tap in. And that is tapping into the deepest essence of peace within yourself that you can find, and learning to hold that frequency regardless of what's happening in the outside world. And an exercise that's challenging. It feels like we're doing it out of necessity right now. But truly choosing peace and tapping in regardless of what's happening in the outside world is a fundamental way that you can find your freedom instantaneously. So I asked the guides one time, what's the one problem if we solved this one problem within ourselves, how could we find personal freedom? And think about what freedom actually is, right? Freedom, yes, it's the freedom to choose your thoughts and to be happy, to choose your attitude in any circumstance. But it's also freedom to break out of the matrix and to no longer be oppressed by the matrix, right? And so to take back this freedom and to step back into a full embodiment of peace, power, and plenty, not where you just have to convince yourself that you're happy, even though you don't have the things that you need and desire in life. It's about truly stepping in and embodying that energy that calls forward balance and harmony and abundance for all. And these constructs are currently breaking down in our society. It's challenging but powerful time to be here on the planet when all of these old constructs are breaking down. The old earth, the old matrix is crumbling and we are creating the new earth. So that's why it's so important that we focus on peace and that we choose our freedom. Do not let the outside circumstances of life dictate how you feel. Back to that download the guides gave me. The fundamental place where you take back your freedom is the moment you wake up in the morning, making a choice to say, how do I want to feel? How do I want to think? How do I want my day to go? Regardless of what's happening on CNN, on your calendar, or unexpectedly comes up. So that's where we should all be focusing. Get as big and powerful and as free as you can. Okay. Good stuff today. All right. Thank you all so much for being here. If this has been a valuable half hour, 40 minutes that we spent here together, please share this out with someone in your life. Share it to your timelines, because the more of us that open up our mind, that we think from different perspectives, we take our freedom back, the faster this false matrix of oppression is going to crumble. And we all get to step into our ability to create, to source and resource through our genius, to experience peace, power, plenty together, to collaborate, to create on this planet. That's where we're headed. All right, high five. I'll see you all back here again next week.